You've got a new business idea and you want to make sure it's going to succeed. So what do? Research, of course. But what happens when researching never seems to end? In this video, I'm going to talk about when research actually turns into something that kills your productivity. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to be notified every time I post a video about entrepreneurship and productivity. Over-researching and developing analysis paralysis is something that I've experienced in my business. I'm happy to be able to share what I've learned, so hopefully you don't experience this too, or if you're currently experiencing it, you can help yourself get out of this stuck stage you're in. The important thing with researching a new idea or offer or product for your business is finding a balance. Just to be clear, research is a vital part to success in business. It's smart business practices to research costs and supplies and target market and your audience and many other things. In no way am I saying that you shouldn't research. Instead, what I'm talking about today is when researching becomes obsessive and you make zero progress on any project or any decision making. What normally starts off as, researching your business, it leads into this obsessive need to keep researching and filling yourself up with so much information. And this is what leads to analysis paralysis, which in a nutshell means you're not making any progress and you are overthinking things. So how exactly can analysis paralysis or over-researching kill your productivity? Well, for starters, it really drains your mental and physical energy when you're constantly staying in this phase of consuming data and information and searching out answers and asking more questions. And truth be told, it's a time waster eventually. You never move on to the development phase or the implementation phase of whatever your idea is. And being stuck in that research phase usually leads to an undue amount of stress on yourself. But oftentimes when you're in the thick of that researching mode, you don't even realize how unbalanced you are. And the tricky part is there's no set time frame of how long research should take you. So it's really hard sometimes to identify when you're stuck. Also, it's going to look a little different for everybody, but let's go over a few of the signs that I've learned from talking to other business owners and entrepreneurs and from my own experiences of what analysis paralysis looks like. Some signs you're experiencing it could be you are obsessively thinking about your research. I mean, it's keeping you up at night. You can't hold a conversation with other people. It's just this obsessive thought in your head all the time. You've been on the verge, maybe more than once, to just give up because you feel like you can never find the right answer. Often it's a form of perfectionism. You might have thoughts or feelings or feel internal pressure to find the perfect offer or perfect product or whatever it might be. Thoughts or feelings of doubts and fears, like if I choose the wrong one, this might happen, or there's too much at stake and I might lose X amount of money or time if I don't choose what's right. Never narrowing down your options or ever making real progress on one or more option to see which one might be best for you in your business. Do any of those sound familiar to you? If so, I'd love for you to share in the comments below. All right, so now that we have an idea of what analysis paralysis is, what it might look like, how research can really hinder our productivity, let's dive into how can we either avoid it, or if you're in the thick of it right now, how can you get yourself out? The number one hack or tip that I have for you is to make sure you're setting deadlines. Now, only you're going to know what is a good deadline and how much research you reasonably need for this new product or offer or business idea, whatever it is, but you need to have a deadline. Don't allow research to continue forever. So you have to have different phases in your business, in your developments. So make sure you set a deadline and then you need to stick to it. So what I often recommend is you tell someone else about your project and about your deadline. Or if you don't want to share your project with anybody, then put in alarms in your phone, in your calendar, your paper planner, whatever you use. Make sure you put that deadline everywhere you can so that you stick to it. Hack number 2 is to set limits. So let's use an example of you're going to launch a new product inside of your business. Instead of just researching all the possible products you could launch, narrow it down to maybe 3 options at a time and only research those 3. And you can only add another one in once you eliminate one of the 3. This is going to help you not get stuck in decision making. Oftentimes we get into analysis paralysis because we have too many choices. Third tip I have for you is don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Getting an outside perspective and opinion really helps, and it's going to help you one of 2 ways. Either you're going to agree with what they're saying, or maybe you'll realize that you disagree with what they're saying and what you want to do for your business. But either way, it's pushing you to make a decision. One of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling stuck on making a choice is to poll my audience or my customers and really get an idea of what do they want, because they're my ideal, target market. I want to make things and create things for them that they want and that they want to consume and that will help them. So get out there and ask your audience or whoever your ideal customer would be what they think. Now, my last tip is the most important one of them all, and it's not going to be one you're probably going to like very much, but you need to get comfortable with uncertainty. I think the biggest thing that keeps us stuck is we feel that level of uncertainty and we just don't want to make a mistake. We don't want to fail. But it's kind of a part of business here. And if you've been an entrepreneur or business owner for long enough, you know that sometimes you're going to make choices that maybe aren't the best, but you can always tweak and change things as you go, and you're never going to learn what works and what doesn't work if you stay in that research phase. So it's really important to move on to the next step, to let your productivity flow, and to make those decisions that are needed. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable does get easier over time, and the more you make these decisions, the less likely you're going to find yourself in this position. So build confidence, make those choices. You can collect data as you go, and you can make changes when needed. The only way you're going to be able to move forward and succeed in your business is to get it done and get out of that research phase. I can't promise you that by moving out of that research phase that everything's going to work out perfectly, but I will promise you that by doing it, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, about your clients, and about your business. And the only way that we can improve our businesses and our offerings is by putting things out there and testing the market and seeing what people want and how we can make it better. So don't give up. And even if you launch something, let me back up real quick. Even if you launch something and say it doesn't take off right away, that also doesn't mean that it's a bad idea. Things take time, and there's different marketing things you can do and tweaks you need to make. So this isn't like a, pass for you to just drop everything if it's not working immediately. There's a lot of things that go into launching a new product or offer or business, but the only way you're going to learn and be able to collect data and to move forward is by getting out of that research phase. So don't stay stuck any longer. Take a risk. You're going to build confidence, and you're going to learn along the way. I love to be able to connect with you in more than just one way. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, I'd love for you to hop on over there and pop in my DMs or something and let's connect. I will put my handle in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe and like button. And if you want to learn more about my favorite productivity hack, make sure you check out this video here. And as always, be fruitful with your time, my friend. I'll see you next time.